The perfume made around the perfumer's marriage. A perfume made for marriage. Woman, man, joining together forever. This was the day I found out what Champaka was all about. A flower abundant in Thailand, powder, bubblegum, a bit narcotic, floral, woody, tea-like. This might be the first review where I do two different concentrations together. Probably not, but with the exact same ingredients, I would say maybe. I got the Attar version. I got the Perfume version. Both released in the same year, so same batch and everything. Attar without the alcohol. The Perfume has added alcohol to make it an extrait. I think it's at like 25%. I'm not positive. I don't know the facts on that. It is an extrait, so it's got to be in that range, close to it. Oud with no rose. Can an Easterner pull it off? Just kidding. We've just seen too much oud and rose. He picks a different flower here. Find out here, therapeutic fragrance. I'm Brandon. All right, that's 007 that I own on Walimah right there. That's the Attar. I'm pretty sure you guys aren't going to get these bottles when they come out on Saturday. This is my most smelled thing I have in my collection. I can't. That's like smelling heaven. Just the fume. It's getting richer. It's aging good. Just what this is just so fantastic. It's underrated. The tar is beautiful. I would never want to be without this in my collection. Here's the Perfume version. I think he's going to continue to make these in his collection. Perfume, $400 at 50 ml. This was more than the Attar now. I kind of called him out for it a bit, but I mean, I love this bottle so much it calmed down a bit. But it's a big upcharge to have this bottle for what he's charging you guys now for the Attar. So that's Attar, same ingredients, no alcohol, added alcohol in a bottle. They wear differently, they smell differently. You can layer them together though to make just an incredible fume. It's next level of perfume wearing when you wear the Attar version and the Perfume. It literally so many different facets of the same ingredients. It's incredible. I got Russian Adam to admit it's okay to layer as long in that instance only, he says. That instance only. Top notes: yellow Champaka, distilled by Russian Adam, magnolia, otto, and absolute. Heart notes: royal Bengal oud, tobacco absolute, Indonesian cocoa extract, saffron, cinnamon. Base notes: legally obtained wild Siberian deer musk, vetiver absolute, aged from 2010, Indian labdanum absolute, and Peru balsam. The Attar I have only worn occasionally. I've definitely worn it 5 times in over a year and a half that I've owned it, but it's my most opened one by a long shot. I am now very familiar with a lot of florals because of the ones that exist in here, specifically the Champaka and the magnolia. Had no clue about the narcotic power of florals before this. When I smelled this, I mean, it blew my nose mind away, and I had to sniff this daily for like the first 3 months I owned this thing. Just could not believe the fume I was getting from it. It opened new horizons of what scent can be, of what perfume can be in my mind. It's one of the first things that I owned in my collection. Florals are so much more than a flower selection at the local store. We have amazing floral selections here in the Northwest, but when you have access to the world and the florals around the world, it's amazing what Earth opens up, what the smells we can get. It's a give and take wearing. As an oud lover, I have to give up the very strong, animalic, pungent finesse of just plain oud, but in return, I get a bouquet that is equally matched with its own nuances and flavors and facets of olfaction bliss. And both of them come together to form a dance of olfactory love. Here's why distilling your own ingredients is so important to me. The distiller tightly controls the rich facets he wants to bring out of the raw ingredient, adding a perfumed print that cannot be copied anywhere else. You buy a synthetic from one of the big three companies, it's literally copied, it's literally similar, it's literally... Why do you think everything's in one fragrance counter at the mall? It's all the same anyway. It's just the facets are the same. The synthetics are the same. I get different from ingredient to ingredient. Like this Champaca is different from every other Champaca I've smelled. This tobacco is different from every other tobacco I've smelled. You pick that synthetic, it's literally the same note over and over again. It's really important to me in my collection and buying perfume. The Champaca is vibrant, creamy, powdery, rich, fruity tea scent with an air of bubble yum. The OG bubblegum packs that I bought as a kid. All right, compared to the notes, let's review Walimah. The star of the perfume is the Champaka, bar none. This could be called the Champaka bomb very easily. Right when you spray it on, especially the Attar, it's just going to hit your nose. And it pretty much stays there almost the entire wearing. It does fade out at the end. Again, this is a story of Russian Adam and his beloved. His beloved is definitely that Champaka in here. The way it just plays, sings, dances, is totally uplifted on a pedestal and showing off to the world. It's amazing. And behind it is a masculine accord that stares down those florals with protection, provision, and devotion. While Champaka opens it up, oud shows itself in the heart. An easy-to-wear oud with none of its powerful, pungent, more animalic traits. A cleaned-up gentleman, if you will. My grandma used to always say, oh, you look good cleaned up. That kind of feel with the oud, a cleaned-up oud. As it transitions, you get a bit of winter love in the form of Christmas cups at the coffee shops, serving up some hot cocoa that you can tell is rich melted down chocolate with some of the best cinnamon I've smelled in a composition. I mean, he really made me hate synthetic cinnamon. Again, this is one of the first things I smelled and why I love natural cinnamon. It's one of those notes that ruined every other note and perfume for me unless you're playing with good notes like this. The natural cannot be beat. Just can't. Anybody turned off by the note has to at least smell something like this at this level, and you might have your mind changed if you haven't smelled something like this before. It's that beautiful and that different. I mean, for me, I did it with patchouli and orris, discovering every facet of an ingredient and kind of why you don't like it. And making sure that you've experienced everything that the ingredient has to offer before you totally make up your mind you don't like it. It's so far I've been changed on almost every note and have come to appreciate. I love patchoulis now. Certain ones, I know the ones I don't like. I know the facets I don't like. Same with orris. I know the orris facets I don't like, but I love so many things that orris does. And it's because it's like the third most expensive ingredient in the world that many of the perfumes I tried, orris or iris, in aren't containing the really powerful natural ingredient, unfortunately. It's just a facet of that. So same with the cinnamon. I talked about it in my ice cream shops. It's the cinnamon I grew up with, baker cinnamon, I really don't like. But I've now been exposed to different cinnamons from people bringing it in, importing it in. It's just a higher level, and it's just yummy and a great note in cooking and perfume. The rich, refined oud, again, never comes out on its own. It just supports everything in the composition and brings light to everything else around it. It adds a rich, earthy support to the florals and spices in here. Saffron, no doubt, adds depth to the sillage. Again, saffron doesn't become its own thing. It just blends into a top note. I can't really pick it out. I know it's there, but it just blends in with that cinnamon to provide a royal accord air, that royal air, and a lush air bubble around you. Very high end. Whiffs of the tobacco can be found now and again while you're moving about. The same goes for the vetiver. It comes in and out, just lightly touched, lightly handed, just like it's just barely sprinkled on here and there as you wear it. And I've heard this so many times with so many people that they've gotten used to Walimah, because it literally, again, it's one of those perfumes, lots of natural, so many facets, so many nuances. As your body heats up, as you move around, it plays differently every time, and you appreciate it more and more. Smelling it the first time and writing it off, I can see you just can't make up your mind like that on this. That's why the 5-time wearing rule I have. It just becomes more part of you. You realize what it's doing. You're like, wow, there's a lot going on here. This is actually a really good heavy-duty perfume that I need to pay concentration to. To me, it was one of the most underrated in the entire line of Areej Dores. Fortunately for you guys, it sounds like it's going to be continued to be remade even after the Attar being released here. So got some inside info on you for that. So that's for you to know. Thus, the review out, plus the Attar being released this week. Sorry if you're watching this video after that, but know that it will be released again and again, or should be. That's the news I have. All ingredients add to the fume that provide many transitions, but great nuances in every whiff as you move around throughout the day. Overall, this is the ultimate marriage fragrance in my collection. The story is fully backed by the composition of two sides, a floral and a nude, that come together to form a complete, beautiful accord. Kudos to you, Mr. Russian Adam and Mrs. Russian Adam. Scoring for Walimah, Areej Dore. Experience, 13 out of 15. Brand originality, 5.5. Project Sillage, 5.5. Longevity, 5.5. Composition, 2020. Ingredients price to ml, 22 out of 25. Top 1010. Heart, 5.5. Base, 1010. 95. Collection worthy. It is. I mean, I even balanced going higher a little bit, but it's underrated. Underrated perfume. Where would I wear it? I wear it on date nights all the time. It's one of those that I can just sneak in on my wife. She doesn't mind. So date night, Valentine's, special occasions, fancy family events for me. All year long, it melts into my skin pretty good. Even though he does use mixed media, it doesn't really project too shouty loud in even higher heat. I've worn it in summer evenings before, and it was fine for me. I haven't worn it in the hottest of hot days. Maybe I'd skip that, but all year long, for sure. Who do I see wearing this one? All right, the first one to a union. This is for a marriage. Yes, the union of marriage. The beauty of two opposites making a whole. How many sprays? 1 to 9, 1 to 10. That 10 one become my shirt. That's why I switched. I've written down 9, but I've switched. I like that 10th one like right on my shirt. So I actually get more facets because the top doesn't blow away as much as in the skin. So you get so much facets from these strong perfumes. That's why I do that. All right, everyone. Got through some more Areejes. Man, that took a lot of work. I love you guys. All love from Therapeutic Fragrance Channel. Be blessed.